I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 151. Just a reminder before we start that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. Please rate and review us on iTunes. We appreciate all the love. I'm Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster, formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Well, we missed a week, Dan. You know that. I know that. The fans obviously know that.
First week of 2019 we missed.
That's right. Now, why do you think we missed a week?
For good reason.
Uh-huh.
As we were going to record last week, we found out that the Nintendo Direct was real. It wasn't just a rumor.
Oh, yeah.
And it was happening like the next day.
Yeah.
So we decided to not record so we can talk about the Nintendo Direct. We can have a mega show, right?
There's a lot of stuff that went down too.
So, it's a lot.
We're gonna get into all that. Don't worry about it. We're getting into
Dave. But Dave, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. Actually, I have a friend in town staying here, so making some use out of the guest bedroom. So it's always a good time. He's up from Virginia for a couple conferences and whatnot. So, it's been good.
Wait, conferences? Video game conferences I don't know about? What's going on, man?
No. He's in the arts and parks department and that stuff. So, yeah.
I was about to say, you holding out on me? He's coming out here for conferences? You guys are going to video game conferences?
Trust me, Dan. If there were video game conferences going on, we would be there. 100%.
Just like we will be in Boston next month for PAX 2019.
Yeah, for the Penny Arcade Expo.
I know. I'm excited.
4 days of Game and Bliss. It's gonna be.
I'm excited. I just hope it doesn't snow because we're going in late March.
We'll see. You never know.
I just hope it doesn't snow.
Yeah, right. So, have you seen? I've been watching the show. Actually, just finished season 1 right now. But there's this new show on Netflix called Russian Doll.
Never heard of it.
Oh my God, it is. I highly recommend.
Is it like a spooky movie about like a Russian doll that comes to life and kills people?
No.
Oh, okay. That's a good guess.
The main character is Russian for sure. But yeah, like the whole conceit of it's a TV show. It's a Netflix exclusive, so they have like season 1 out. There's like 6 episodes, but if you watch the trailer, you see that like it's this girl's birthday, right? And there's this whole party going on and whatnot, and that's like the opening scene. And she ends up leaving this party with a guy, and she gets hit by a car, right? And she gets hit by a car, right? She dies, or we think she dies.
That sounds horrible. All right.
Yeah. And then she ends up waking up in the bathroom. So it goes right back to the opening scene again. She's in the bathroom with a party, right? And then she's like, "Whoa, what the hell's going on?" Right? Because she has no clue what's going on, and obviously you, the viewer, have no clue what's going on, right? And it's like basically like every time she dies, she ends up reliving the same night or day over and over again, right?
That sounds oddly familiar. It sounds like that movie Happy Death Day. It was her birthday.
Yeah.
She hooked up with some she was in college. And she hooked up with some dude and woke up in his dorm room, and she kept dying. She was killed. She had to solve her own murder mystery, right? It was like, who killed me? and she kept dying over and over again. And they just, matter of fact, they just came out with part 2. It was a Happy Death Day to You. Yeah,
that's right.
I really like that movie too. I hope the second one is good.
Yeah,
I think it's more comedic. It got like a 8.5 on IGN.
Right. Well, this one definitely has some comedic element. I mean, it's very dark, so it's like you consider it dark comedy maybe, but yeah, it's like hella interesting. Like, there's so much more to it, but that's like the general conceit of like the first episode of the first like 5 minutes. Like, that's what kind of goes down. So,
okay, I gotta check it out.
Yeah. Highly recommend it. How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I saw Glass, the movie, the trilogy. From what was it? I'm like mind blanking right now. It was like Unbreakable.
Well, the
Split.
Sixth Sense.
No,
I mean, not the Sixth Sense. I'm sorry.
That was Bruce Willis. It was Unbreakable.
Right. Unbreakable, Split, and Glass are the three movies.
Well, you're thinking of the Sixth Sense because Unbreakable came out around the same time. It was like a couple of years later, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it was the same director as first movie, M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. You know.
So I finally saw Glass. I saw the trilogy. It was okay. It was.
Yeah.
I wanted more of a. I really wanted more of a really big fight scene. I was hoping for, but Bruce Willis is like in the 60s, so obviously, they had to do some camera cuts. I was expecting more from this movie. It was okay. I was expecting the big fight scene. Right? That's It was like Halo 5. I expected, Chief. I expected a big fight scene with Chief and Locke.
You would expect, right? Chief is the insurgent. He's going against the UNSF, right? He's doing his own thing. He's going rogue. Locke's supposed to bring him in, and then you don't get the big payoff.
Yeah, no, I was. I wanted to see Bruce Willis versus jacked up Professor X.
So of the trilogy, I'm assuming you've seen Split, right?
Yes, I've seen Split.
Okay, of the trilogy, which one is the best?
Come on, really? You gotta really ask me that.
I'm asking that question for real.
Come on, it's Unbreakable, hands down.
Of course, the first movie in the series always the best.
Well, of course, and in the trilogy, right? They had to tie it into the first movie. Right, so it's like the events of the first movie is why this guy is crazy and Split. They had to tie it all together, and it's like, okay. But anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on it. It was okay.
There you go.
I enjoyed it because I was expecting the big payoff at the end, and I got a twist which I won't spoil. It's like a big twist at the end that I won't spoil.
Well, I still got to see both. I mean, I saw Unbreakable. I was like, it's all right. Wasn't super crazy about it. I do like what he did with the whole thing. Like, Split was kind of its own thing. And then at the end, it's like, it's part of this universe now. Like, I thought that was really cool. Just that kind of idea.
Also, you know what else is cool? As we wait and see, the next in the Avengers movie to see what happens with Thanos, right? I'm also curious of how they're going to implement the X-Men and the mutants, right? And maybe the Fantastic Four, right? Since they bought Fox and they have all their, they have all their IPs from Fox back. How are they going to implement mutants in the new world?
Have the rights to that universe, yeah.
Yeah, but Disney did say they will continue to make R-rated Marvel movies. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing for Deadpool 3.
Finally, yeah. I was just thinking that, like, he's the one that you need to have the hard R rating for, otherwise the movie doesn't work. This is actually great, because I guess like Disney's one of the biggest studios, but they're kind of realizing that if you make a movie PG-13, you're kind of hurting the medium, right? The movie's not going to be as good.
Certain characters need to be like a hard R. Right?
I think all of the Marvel movies would benefit from being a hard R. Or
not all certain, because all the MCU
Wolverine. Come on now.
All the MCU movies have been great, and they're not rated R.
They have been good to great for sure. But I think they would have been better if they were R. They wouldn't have to like pull their punches a little bit. Yeah,
No.
There's always room for improvement, man.
I don't
Always
think
room
so.
for
I
improvement.
don't think so.
Like making it an R over a PG-13. I honestly don't think it's going to hurt their bottom line in terms of the money they bring in. Right. That's the only reason they do it. They want to make it PG-13 so the parents will bring the kids to go see the movie. Right.
They want to make it family friendly movies so they can sell toys and stuffed dolls and have a theme. That if they do a hard, they're not going to have Disney's not going to have a Deadpool theme coaster. Okay, they're just not. They're not. They're probably having an Avengers coaster, but they're not going to have a Deadpool coaster.
Well, I mean, Deadpool's a little more edgy. Sure.
Well, did you see the rumors of Daniel Radcliffe playing as the new Wolverine?
Really?
No, it was rumors. It's all rumors. It's nothing based. It's not no announcements or anything.
Right.
It could just all be BS.
I hope so. As much as I love Daniel Radcliffe,
there were mock-ups of him with the beard and the claws online.
Really?
I mean, listen, I love Harry Potter. I don't want Harry Potter to be Logan.
I'm on the same page, man. I'm on the same page.
Yo, after the show, you got to look it up. It is hilarious. It's like this. Everyone's like pushing for him. I don't know where the rumor started, but now people are pushing for him to be the new Logan in the MCU.
I'm looking at some pictures right now. He's got a bit of a jacked figure. Maybe he could do it.
I don't know. He will always be Mr. Potter to me. I'm sorry. I can't.
I mean, he's certainly got the acting chops, but I don't know.
I don't know if he can pull off. I don't know if Harry Potter can pull off the angry savage and start slicing people up. I just can't. I can't see it.
I mean, people said the same thing about Mark Ruffalo, and look how good of a Bruce Banner he is.
Well, you know what? I gave Ben Affleck a shot to be Batman.
I thought he was great. I don't blame the Batfleck. It wasn't his fault.
Well, he's officially done. He was on Jimmy Kimmel and he said he's done. He's no longer playing Batman, which doesn't make any sense if they're going to make a Justice League 2.
Well,
Aquaman and Wonder Woman are doing fantastic.
I can tell you some things behind the scenes that he certainly had some trouble with substance abuse. He's always had trouble with substance abuse, but recently he's had some trouble with substance abuse. And I know some filming roles, like they wouldn't want to sign off and give him insurance and this and that and whatever because he was having all these problems,
Really?
So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't know if that was like part of it. I mean, I feel like it would be, he's a bit of a liability,
But, they wouldn't let him make the Batman movie he wanted to make. Mm-hmm. Right? I would love to see it. A Batman Affleck movie, right?
Yeah.
Just to see what he would what different what he wanted to make Deathstroke the main villain, right? Which is why sort of Deathstroke was like at the end of the Justice League movie, right? The ending credits. I don't know how that would have worked, but I'm curious. I mean, just go for it, right? Just go. Yeah. I would have just went for it. Just say, hey, you know what? Make it, sink or swim, because. Where are they now? They have two different Jokers, right? They're gonna have two different Batmans because they're doing a Batman movie with a younger Batman. They went from an older Batman to a younger Batman. And how are they gonna do a Justice League movie again? A sequel that doesn't make any sense. You don't have a Superman or a Batman.
Yeah, I mean they are kind of some of the main components. They're kind of the heads of the Justice League, if I'm not mistaken. But who knows?
All right, but the biggest news to me, the biggest news that came out as far as just like TV and movies.
Oh boy, here it comes.
Nickelodeon is reviving Are You Afraid of the Dark? Yes, I don't care what you say. I love this show back in the early 90s, early to mid 90s.
They're bringing this back?
They're bringing it back. It's coming back as a movie on Nickelodeon. It'll be a TV movie. Huh? Love this show. Fond memories. Okay. Oh, yeah, man. Playing my Game Boy. Playing my Game Boy and watching Are You Afraid of the Dark in the dark.
Yeah, dude.
As a kid.
The show was the shit back in the day, right? It was great. And it was also of that time when when Nickelodeon started to realize that, like, hey, kids stay up past 8:00. Maybe we should have programming that's not classic TV shows from the 60s and 70s, right? And they, they ended up pushing back Nick at Night to like 12 or 10 or whatever it is, and they
No, it
had
was
this
like
like
8.
block.
It was like 8. It definitely wasn't. It definitely wasn't midnight. It was like 8 on a Saturday.
Well, it used to be 8, and then they started coming up like Are You Afraid of the Dark and Roundhouse and Alex Mack and whatnot. Like those were all the shows that kind of came in for like Nick's like primetime lineup, right? Yeah, I remember this pretty vividly. I'm surprised they're bringing it back though. I guess the kids want it.
Well, the kids who are now adults want it. Yes, I want this. Bringing this back. I loved that show. I thought it was on, like, I thought it got canceled in the mid-90s, and then I saw that it sort of took a 3-year hiatus because it was on for seven seasons. So it was on from 90 to 96, and then it disappeared until it came back in 99, and it was on for 99 to 2000.
Wow.
So,
wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
and then they're bringing it back yet again.
They're bringing it back yet again.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Good news.
All right, so the last show we talked about all the new games that are coming February to Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus. And I couldn't talk about the games that are coming from Nintendo because at the time Nintendo never announced what the new games for Nintendo Online.
Oh yeah, we didn't know.
But now it's coming that Super Mario Brothers 2 and Kirby are coming. Kirby's Adventure are on Nintendo Online. So it's out right now. So if you have Nintendo Switch Online, which I do, I subscribe, it's only $20. Come on, people complaining. It's only $20. All right. You can play Super Mario Brothers 2 and Kirby Adventure. And they have SP Blaster Master and an SP2 Metroid. So I've played some of the Blaster Master. You have like all the weapons. I've never beaten Blaster Master, so I'm assuming I have to be pretty far in to the map. And I haven't played the Metroid Special 2, but it's safe to assume that you have all the weapons and you're somewhere close to Ridley. Special 1 was you were outside the door for Ridley, so you can beat the game in like 5 minutes.
Ridley and then Mother Brain, and then you're good to go.
Yeah. So I haven't played the Special 2, so I don't know where it leads you off in the map, but it's safe to assume that you have a lot. You have all the weapons, right?
Yeah,
all the powers.
super powered and ready to go. Yeah.
So you should play that. Super Mario Brothers 2, awesome game. Beat it on the NES Classic a couple of months ago. I think I talked about it on the show and posted on Instagram. Now, before we get into our regular routine, I wanted to bring this up. Now, I was watching IGN Game Scoop a couple of weeks ago, and someone asked a really good question on there, and I really wanted to talk to you about this because this, if you think about it, it kind of doesn't make any sense if you think about it. When we have what we coin a Metroidvania style game, right? That came from when this Castlevania Symphony of the Night came out on the PS1.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. I mean, like people started using that term around that time. Yeah.
Yeah, they started using. Why are they using the term Metroidvania style game when it's really just a Metroid style game? Metroid invented this.
Well, sure. I mean, it did, and it kind of iterated over the next couple of games to kind of perfect the formula, right? And
Super Metroid came out way before Castlevania Symphony of the Night, right?
Oh, it came out 3 years. Yeah, 3 years before. It was 94 versus 97. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to call, and that is 100% a Metroidvania style game, right? That should have been we should have coined it a Metroid style game just from Super Metroid.
Well, it is actually a very interesting question, and I guess one of the things you need to kind of pin down is like what is that style of game, right? And I think the main tenet is you have a large world that technically is open. You can technically go anywhere, but they lock certain bits of the world down until you get certain power-ups or weapons or items or whatever. You get the double jump or the the missiles or whatever else. And it's like kind of like a clever way of like, well, now you can do areas D, E, and F and not just A, B, and C, and it opens up like more of the world. And then you'll come across stuff that you don't have a thing for, right? And there'll be like a door or like a little passageway that you can't get through. And, they make you come back to it. They make you loop back around. You go, I'm going to remember that when I get the thing, and you'll know that this works for this, and you can do that. So I think that's like the main tenet of these games, right?
All started by Metroid.
Very true. Very true. But, I mean, there really weren't any other games out there like Metroid, right? So it was kind of hard. You didn't have any other games in the genre, right?
There weren't any, I would say, very popular games to that level, right? I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of any examples of games that were similar in style.
Right. I mean, there were ones that like kind of did that. Like you could honestly almost technically call The Legend of Zelda Metroidvania, right? Because like if you want to get to level 2, right, or like say like level 3 in the level 4 in the first Legend of Zelda, you need the raft from level 3, right? And that opens up like certain parts of the world. Same with like Link to the Past, right? You could technically make an argument for that, right? So I mean, it's a little hard to say, the progression of unlocking things to get to different areas. Like a lot of games kind of had that, I mean, Super Metroid, one of the best games of all time, right? Castlevania Symphony of the Night, one of the best games of all time, right? Yes. So I think that's why they get the moniker, right? Because they're the gold standard of what this type of game is. That's how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong. I think you're 100% right that Metroid really did coin the whole like get this item to open up this thing type play style, right?
But I guess your point is we only had one. We only had Metroid, right? To go off of as far as a main game, like a big time game, AAA game that had that success where it was you had to discover you had to get a new power up to progress to to the map, right? Castlevania Symphony of the Night was sort of that second big splash game that did that. So they just put them two together, even though Metroid did it first. So Castlevania Symphony of the Night is a Metroid style game, right? But it was such a classic when it came out that they just sort of put them two together. I mean, listen, it sounds great, Metroidvania, right? We putting two classic franchises together, but it really should technically just be a Metroid game, Metroid style game, because that started it. Yeah. Just wanted to get off on a little side tangent. Put that out there. Dave, do you have any good pickups this week? Any good pickups in the last 2 weeks?
I got some good pickups. For sure. Got some good pickups. It's funny. I actually found Xbox One games in the wild. It's happening, baby.
Wow.
Current gen games showing up at Goodwills and Salvation Armies and whatnot. So I picked up Recore and Destiny.
Good game.
For Xbox One. Is it? I haven't got to play it yet.
Recore, underrated game. I think it was overhyped. That's why it didn't get that level of success. It was always a budget game. It was never a $60 game. It was a $40 It was a $40 game.
Exclusive too, right?
Exclusive to the Xbox. I think it's underrated. I think it's a good game. I played the heck out of it when it first came out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to play it. It was a exclusive, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, only the Xbox.
Very nice. Yeah. It's sad that it didn't turn out as well as it could have, But I'm definitely looking forward to play that. FIFA 13 for the Xbox 360. Picked up that, which is great, and also NHL 12 for the Xbox 360. Picked that up, and I decided to sell off, or I should say trade in, all of my doubles that I had, right?
Okay.
Because I've been trying to sell them online and this and that, and it's kind of real difficult. Everyone wants to nickel and dime you, and then they never want to meet up and this and that. It's just a pain. So
they would have nickel and dime you. They would have Dave Rotino you. Okay. We coined that phrase, the Dave Rotino you.
When did we coin this? I don't think we coined this. I don't know what you're talking about.
I just did. I just coined it. They want to Dave Rotino you.
We're not going to make this a thing. All right. It's bad enough. It's bad enough you're trying to make Grown Man Gamer a thing.
GMG is a real thing. You should know it more than anything.
Oh yeah.
GMG, baby.
It's a phenomenon, folks.
For life.
But I say all that because I traded in a bunch of stuff. I got decent credit for it, and picked up Octopath Traveler finally.
Nice.
Not so nice. I'm not really crazy on the game.
Wow. You're the RPG expert between the two of us.
Not all RPGs are created equal, Dan.
I have it. I picked it up because it was sold out everywhere. It's hard pressed to find it. And I work close to the Nintendo store, so of course I was like, "Hey, you guys got it in stock? I'll pick it up." I played the demo when the demo first came out. Yeah, wasn't so crazy about it. I'm not a big RPG fan. That's just not my thing.
I kind of like the combat, but the story is a little bit of a snooze. I'll say that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. I thought you would like this game. So
did I. But it's fine. I'm still gonna beat it. It's good because I can play it on the subway, right? So I get like a good 2 hours every day to play a little bit more of the story. So
okay.
I'm okay with doing that. It's
all right.
The beauty of the Switch. So, but that's what I picked up. What about you, Dan? You get any good pickups?
Oh, I got some good pickups, baby. I got some good pickups. But before we get into my pickups, last week we celebrated a tradition that we've been celebrating for, I would say, 3 years now? This will be the third year.
That's right.
And that's February 10th, National CIB Day.
National Complete in Box Day.
Yes. It has many meanings to different people. To me, it's a game that you have complete in box that you have fond memories of, that has a special place in your heart. And I always, listen, if I could post this every CIB day, I will. Maybe I will. Who knows? But I always post Super Mario Brothers 2. I have that complete in box. Well, maybe I shouldn't say complete because I don't have the little styrofoam thing that came in the boxes. But, I have the manual, and I have the box, and I have the game, and I have the sleeve. But that game always holds a special place in my heart because it was a game that I played with my father, who passed away when I was a teenager. And it was always hard. Like, the game was it was hard for me. I didn't beat it until a couple of months ago on the NES Classic with save states, right? But he would always play it and rage quit because it was always hard. It was always like a hard game. Once we get to sort of towards the end, it gets a little the difficulty ramps up a little, especially with no save states. You have to be perfect. Your timing has to be perfect. So that game will always have a special place in my heart.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I actually I got that game Christmas '88, and it was definitely one of the best Christmases ever because my parents hid the game in the other room. So we had all the gifts underneath the tree, and then they're like, "Oh, I think there's one more gift in the other room. I think I saw Santa drop something off." And I go run in there, and it's Super Mario Brothers 2. So I'm with you. Me and my brother will play this game to death. So solid. Yeah, I ended up throwing up Final Fantasy, the original OG Final Fantasy.
Surprise!
Oh, I mean, come on now, it's a classic, man. There's definitely a lot of history behind this game, just in kind of gaming lore and whatnot. But when I came across this game in Nintendo Power, I was all about it. I'm like, I need to play this game. What is this magic? And that started my whole love of RPGs. So,
but you don't love our Octopath Traveler. You know what?
Like I said, they're not all created equal. Some games are bad.
We'll get into that. We'll get into Octopath Traveler in a minute. But the one thing that I really needed to pick up, and I didn't hit the trigger on it, pull the trigger on it for a while, and I finally did, was a new gaming chair. The gaming chair I had, the cylinder is broke, so the chair won't stay up.
Yeah.
And that's annoying. Where we'll be doing the show, or if I'm playing a game and I'm
you'll just start slinking down,
slowly creeping down after 10 minutes. It'll stay up for 10 minutes and then it'll just keep going down, pumping down. So it's super super annoying. I haven't thrown a chair out because I want to figure out a way. I mean, I spent good money for it. It's still in good condition. I just want to find a way to keep it propped up, and maybe I'll have it as a second chair. But the good folks at GTR Racing, all black chair, and I got a leg rest on it as well.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I spent really good money on this one. I spent good money on this one. Super comfortable, all black trim. The chair I did have, my old chair was like black and white. Wasn't a big fan of that. I don't want, anybody who knows me knows I don't really like a lot of color. I just want all black everything. So
you and Jay-Z both.
Me and Jay-Z both, all black everything. So have this chair. It's great. Love the leg rest, and it's pretty comfortable. So
nice.
I went down to Video Games New York, and I picked up a new PS Vita. Slim, or the 2000 model. I was debating if I wanted to get a Japanese version because they had a lot. Like I guess from a liquidation set, they got a lot of Japanese version Vitas. But I just wanted an American version, and they didn't have that many, so I literally brought the last one they had in stock. It is, again, the PS Vita Slim doesn't have the OLED screen and all the buttons around. It feels super comfortable. I got to say, it's more comfortable than the original Vita. The original Vita is a little hefty. It's a little hefty. Got a little heft to it. This one is super light, more portable in that sense because it's lighter and slightly slimmer. The aqua blue one is rare. It's hard to find because it came out towards the end of its life cycle, right? They stopped supporting it. And it was only sold at GameStop.
I remember I remember seeing it around everywhere, but you're telling me like kind of limited edition, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. If you want to buy it online, it's going to cost you the same amount to buy a Switch.
Wow. Wow.
I actually may try to buy the Assassin's Creed bundle one, the all white Vita, the first one, because my ex-girlfriend many years ago waited in line and got that for me as a Christmas gift. And I had it, and I traded it in because I don't want the white one. I want the black one. So I traded in the white one for the black one at GameStop.
Right.
That was before I was a collector. That was before I was a collector.
Dan.
And had disposable income. Now the system is still $200. Has not gone down in price at all. If you can find it, which is the hard part. So I may try to get that one to add to the collection to have 3 Vitas.
Yeah, that reminds me of the time I passed on Moonwalker for the Genesis a couple of years ago.
Ooh, I remember that.
When I first started collecting, right? When I was back in Flatbush, and there was a great place, Bulletproof Comics. If you're ever in Flatbush, Brooklyn, definitely go check them out. They got like comics and figurines and skateboards and some video games.
Closed down? They closed down.
No, I don't.
You sure?
So.
Was it a liquidation sale? And they closed down? That was the one about the last time on the train station, right?
Well, I mean, down near the
junction, the Triangle Junction.
Down near the Brooklyn Junction, yeah.
Yeah, I think they closed down.
Really?
I think so. I think so.
That'd be a shame. I don't know. We're gonna have to go and look that up. They are still in business, though. Look
I'm
them
not
up
saying
online.
They're not in business. I'm just saying they're not there anymore.
oh. Well, look them up online. I know they had 2 locations at least. But they were always good people, and the owner was a good guy, and they had a copy of Moonwalker for Genesis in the back for $35.
Was it complete?
Oh, it was complete.
Oh man, you missed out.
I know. I missed out.
I remember.
But it's okay. Because I ended up getting, many years later, Golden Axe the Duel for Sega Saturn, which is like a $70 game for $5. So, you win some, you lose some.
Well, I remember Moonwalker, one of my best friends, Brian, he's the fighting game guy. He wanted to buy Moonwalker because he loved it as a kid. Yep. And I bought it on eBay, complete in box. I think this was like in 2004, 2005 for $20. Wow. And I regret not buying myself one.
Hindsight is 20/20, Dan. This is what they say.
So I do have the game, but I have a game for the Sega Master System complete. So I don't have the Genesis version. If I do see it, I will pick it up. But I did get some really good pickups. I picked up Crazy Taxi Fire Wars for the PSP. I got Crazy Taxi Catch a Ride for the Game Boy Advance. Legendary Axe.
Wait, go back. Crazy Taxi Fire Wars?
Yeah, Fire Wars.
What is
For the
that?
PSP. That's a crazy taxi game for the PSP.
It's called Fire. I've never heard of that. Wow. Weird. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I picked it up. I used my
use your Wookiee points.
My Lukey points. Fair Wars. Points. Sorry, Fair Wars.
Oh, I was gonna say. Okay, Fire Wars sounds a little.
That was a misprint. That was a typo.
Okay. All right.
Fair
Understood.
Legendary Axe 2 for the Game Boy. Oh my God, TurboGrafx 16. I have Legendary Axe 1 for the TurboGrafx 16, so I picked up the second one. Didn't even know there was a second one. And this was supposed to be like, what was it, October 27th in 2017? When Mario Odyssey and all the games and the Assassin's Creed game and all the games came out that day. This Friday, February 15th, was supposed to be the same day, the same thing. We had 4 major titles released, and I picked up all 4.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to do a review roundup for all 4. I will give the Metacritic scores. So in order, from least to bad to good,
from worst to best, yeah.
Crackdown 3 got a Metacritic score of 60. Actually, a lot of outlets reviewed the game, reviewed the campaign and the multiplayer separately, because if you bought it digitally, I guess it was 2 icons. I guess you can buy it. You could just buy the campaign if you want. If you bought it digitally, and you can buy the multiplayer. I don't know how that works, but the campaign scored higher than the multiplayer scored higher than the campaign. I mean, the campaign, I think IGN gave the campaign like a 4 or 5, and
that's not
the multiplayer got like a 5. And then Jump Force, thought that game would be scored a little bit higher, but Jump Force was just called mediocre. It got a 60 on Metacritic. A game that surprisingly I thought would be mediocre got scored really well. Far Cry New Dawn. That got a 76 on Metacritic.
76 is good, I guess.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
So look. Listen. If you scored in the 90s, obviously you're amazing. And if you scored in the 80s, you're great. 70s, you're good. 60s is okay.
No.
Anything below that is mediocre or bad. That is essentially everybody's rating scale.
I would say I'm good with 80 and above, unless it's a really unique concept.
I'm good with 75 and above.
I don't know. Well, yeah. I mean, I rock a 75 game. I don't want to say that I'm a snob about things and whatnot.
You're being a little bit of a snob.
No. I mean, what I'm trying to say is I want to play the best. I want to play the best available, right? The best available that speaks to me, right?
And Metro Exodus came out to an 84 Metacritic. So I got to be surprised. I'm a little surprised. I knew Crackdown wouldn't score well, just because when the previews came out, it didn't look good, and people were kind of on it. Jump Force, I thought, would be at least in the 70s or 80s. Because you're bringing a lot of anime characters into a fighting game.
It's a giant fanboy's dream, I want to have this character versus this character, right? And they have all that because they, the company that produces it, I guess, like owns a lot of those properties or has all those licenses. So, I know they've done stuff before. They've done like J Stars or J All Stars or whatever for like DS and 3DS and whatnot. Jump Force.
I have the J All Stars for PS3.
Yeah, and they were definitely fun games, and they had all the characters in there, which is great. So
Dave, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail. What have you been playing?
So I've been playing Smash Ultimate, right? The adventure mode, right? The World of Light. Just trying to complete that.
Have you tried Piranha Plant yet? Have you? Not
in a World of Light mode yet.
Don't do adventure mode or anything like that. Just do a single match.
Oh, I did. Yeah. No, he's good. He's solid.
Okay.
He has tiny little feet. It's great. Because you wonder how he walks. He has little feet that stick out the bottom of the pot.
Oh, as a side note, I hate to cut you off. As a side note, I did pick up the Piranha Plant Amiibo, King Rule Amiibo, and the Ice Climbers Amiibo.
Wow, I haven't seen those out in the wild.
They just came out. They just came out.
Well, I know. I mean, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. If you happen to see more of those in stock, let me know. I'll gladly pay you for them.
Oh, sure. Nintendo Store was fully stocked for all of them.
I know. I'm never up in that direction. Is the whole thing.
Okay, I'll definitely pick it up for you.
All right, cool. Beyond that, Dragon Quest XI, right? Still going through the story mode. Octopath Traveler on the subway, which is great. Wait. Before I want to go back to the Octopath, because I'm genuinely surprised at your just it's not a bad game.
You're so about it, right?
Yeah.
You're like, it's okay. Everyone loves this game. This is going to be a thing. We will get an Octopath Traveler 2 for the Switch Pro the Switch Mini, or whatever. They will come out, right?
Yeah.
They even coined the art style, right? They even trademarked the art style.
It's supposed to be a throwback to the 16-bit day, graphics and whatnot and play style, and like specifically it's like aping off the Final Fantasy VI pixel art style, right? It was kind of a specific thing, and obviously like the buildings and whatnot are 3D, but the characters are flat 2D and they run around in this 3D world, and it certainly looks cool. The visuals are cool and the sound is good, but and the combat's kind of nice, but the story is just kind of blah. It's just kind of like, ugh. Here's this person's tale. I'm like, all right, you're gonna go to this town and find someone new, and then do a bunch of quests, and then when that's done, you go to another town and then find this dude. I don't know. Nothing really like necessarily spoke to me that was like crazy about it. I'm still gonna beat it, but
let me ask you a question. How many hours have you put in?
At least 5 to 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, I'm gonna beat it.
And you're still like so on the story. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, man. I thought not everything is great. Not everything is great. Even though somebody says or a bunch of people say it's great, it still may not be great.
The way you were talking, it was like you put in like 2 hours. And I was like, maybe you went 10 hours. You like it.
No. That's not the case at all. It's legitimately got issues with the game. The game has issues. Like, there's no way around it. But it's still like there's something about it that's fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish it. But yeah. I mean, I know you had or actually we had mentioned at the top of the show about the Nintendo Direct that dropped. They had demos, Tetris 99 and Demon Ex Machina, both for the Switch. Downloaded those games that night, played those games that night. They are fantastic. Tetris
so how do you
99.
How do you like? And we're going to get into the Direct as lead story later on in the show. But Tetris Direct. I mean, the Tetris Direct, the Tetris 99. How do you like it? Because you are the certified Tetris king of Rated G. Like
I am the Tetris master. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging my kingdom.
I give you that.
Yeah. I'm definitely good at Tetris and Dr. Mario. This is Battle Royale. If anybody ever had any thoughts of how could they bring the Battle Royale aspect to Tetris, they've done it, folks. It is 100-man battle. So that means you need to be online. You can only play 100 man.
I thought it was a 99-man battle.
Well, you're the 100th man. You're facing off against 99 other people.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the clarity, because I thought it was just 99 people go head to head.
Oh yeah, no. So you need to have an online connection because there is no bots, there's no computers, there's no AI to play against.
You need a Nintendo online service as well.
I suppose you do.
Yes. No. It's you have to have Nintendo Online to play it.
Oh, there you go. So you have to have that, and you have to have an internet connection. I tried to play it on the subway; it just timed out, so that doesn't work. But it's Tetris. You're just going against 99 other people at the same time. You can actually, I found out today, you can change the person that you're trying to attack, right? It doesn't really matter. You just want to keep like reducing lines over and over again. So you don't top out and end up losing. I got 13th place. 12th. I got 12th place. That's my best rank. So I was ranked 12 out of 100 people, which is not bad, but I can do better.
You think you could be number one?
I should be number one. I'm actually a little ashamed of myself. First time I played, I got 48th place, and I was like, And I got 38th, And then I got like I think 19th maybe, and the last time I got like 12th. So I'm like, okay, 12th is pretty good.
I think I'll download it and play it. Just
you got to you have to try it at least once.
I'll play it once.
You got to try.
I'll probably play it once. Mm-hmm. I'm not a battle royale type of person.
Well, it's not really battle royale. It's just like because battle royale is just a bunch of people. So I guess
well, technically, you're going head to head playing 199 other people.
Yep.
On Tetris.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Demon Ex Machina, which is awesome. It's a giant mech game. So you get to outfit your mech with you get to make your own character, and then you get to outfit your mech with a bunch of different items and whatnot. And then you go into battle and do missions and this and that. So it's just a demo. There's only like four different levels you can go into, but super good. I'd recommend downloading that too because it's free.
They were big. They were big on feedback. If you downloaded the demo and played it, they were big on wanting feedback. The game is not done yet, but it should be out later this year. Mm-hmm. So okay,
nice. So what about you, Dan? What have you been getting into, or what have you gotten into this week?
I've been playing the heck out of Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds on the Vita. Mm-hmm. I've been playing it before I even bought my PS Vita Slim.
Oh, I don't know the game.
I'm definitely playing that. Mm-hmm. That's sort of like the best way I could describe it. Like, do you remember? You remember the Street Fighter, the mini characters? The name escapes me right now.
Oh yeah, Pocket Fighter.
Pocket Fighters. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're like the size of Pocket Fighters. All the characters you play as are female, and they have like different type of weapons, and it's sort of like a Pocket Fighters style beat 'em up. Mm-hmm. It's pretty easy, I would say. It's just a lot of enemies coming at you at once, and so you got to do different combos and stuff. Mm-hmm. I've been addicted to that. I got to be honest. I've been a little addicted to that game. Nice. Super Mario 3D Land on 3DS. Mm-hmm. The only thing I don't like about the 3D Land or 3D World, for that matter, series is they make you get the special stars that are hidden somewhere in the level. Mm-hmm. You cannot progress to beat the game. You cannot progress to like the castle in certain levels unless you have a certain amount of stars to unlock the level. Oh,
that feels very much like Mario 64.
Yeah, I guess in that vein, yeah. Mm-hmm. But I kind of just I want to play the level. I don't want to have to figure out where the star is. Let me just beat it. I mean, that was the sort of the wall I hit because I played the heck out of 3D World on a Wii U, and I hit a wall because I couldn't get to Bowser's Castle because I didn't have enough stars because I wasn't collecting stars as I was going through all the levels. So I had to go back, and it's like you got to get like 80 stars. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, where the hell are these stars? So and I ran into a wall now in 3D Land where I can't progress and go into Bowser's Castle. I don't like that. Let me just get into Bowser's Castle. Let me beat the game without finding the stars. Maybe if you get all the stars, you get like extra levels, or maybe you get an alternate ending if you beat Bowser again or something like that. But let me progress and beat the game without getting the stars.
So what you're saying is Dan Robinson wants an easy mode.
Dan Robinson doesn't want to collect the stupid stars. The game is hard enough. The game is hard enough. The game is hard enough. I don't want the stupid stars. I don't want to collect the stars.
Yeah.
I've also been playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Mm-hmm. Playing a little bit of that with Piranha Plant. Not just in single matches. I'm not doing Piranha Plant story mode. I don't want.
You don't want to go and crash the game. Sure.
I don't want my saves to be deleted. Sorry. I unlocked a lot of characters. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Golf Story I've been playing a little bit of. Still love that game. But I guess that's the only RPG that really ever like captured my attention because it's an RPG and it's golf. But I played a little bit of Jump Force on a PS4
right
when it came out. Mechanics get a little bit of used to. It's not like playing Street Fighter, and I think every time someone who's not like a avid fighting game player, when they get to a new fighting game, they always try to act like it's Street Fighter, right? At least I know I do. Every time I get a fighting game, I have to adjust because I'm like, I feel like I'm playing a Street Fighter game, or I try to play it like I'm playing a Street Fighter game.
Right. Why can't I throw fireballs?
What's going on? Why is the do-get not working? It's usually the fireball button, right?
Yeah, right. All right. It's a quarter circle forward and punch.
So it takes some getting used to. It reminds me more of Dragon Ball Xenoverse, right? Which wasn't a big fan of. I don't want the big open menu, like the world where you have to run around to try to get a match and go around and get story. Just give me the story right away. Just give me the story. Just hit a button. I want story mode. Boom. I don't have to find it in this open world menu. I'm not a fan of that. That's just me personally. My little rant. I didn't play a lot of it. I really only played it because I got the game from Video Games New York, who was selling it on a Wednesday when it was coming out on a Friday.
Breaking that street date.
So I was breaking that street date, baby. Also, Crackdown 3. Played Crackdown 3. Sort of the tutorial part. It reminds me a lot of Crackdown 1. It reminds me a lot of Crackdown 1. But I get to play as Terry Crews. That enough is good for me. I'm sorry.
I guess. I love Terry Crews, don't get me wrong, but you got to have some gameplay substance behind to back it up.
Listen, for all the outlets that didn't give Crackdown a good score, there was one outlet that gave it a 90. There was an outlet that...
And what was it? Was it official Xbox magazine?
No.
Or no, wait. Was it like Forbes Gaming?
No. That would be fun though if Forbes Gaming gave it a 90. All right. No, on the Metacritic out of 56 reviews, it got a 90 from GameSpew.
Right. GameSpew.
And Gaming Trend gave it an 85. So there were some outlets that listen, God is a Geek gave it a 75.
Well, they found something good about it. It's probably going to be a hard pass for me, dog, though. I'll tell you that.
You know what they found good about it? You get to play as Terry Crews. It's Terry Crews.
I mean, I believe it's the only game you can play as Terry Crews.
I was just waiting for him to throw Old Spice bombs or something. It's Terry Crews.
Yeah, right.
Okay, they know what they talk. Maybe not a 90, but it was. I play again. I matter of fact, after the show, I want to play Crackdown 3. I want to get back into it because I want to play as Terry Crews. He's awesome. Right. Played Mortal Kombat 9 on the Vita because I've been playing it on the Vita Slim just as I was trying to test it out, and then I got sort of caught up playing story mode because I never played Mortal Kombat 9, and then I was playing as Freddy Krueger.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot he was in that. Yeah. Definitely had the good crossovers.
And then lastly, also coming from the Nintendo Direct, I did download Damien Ex Machina demo. Did not play it yet, but I did play the heck out of Yoshi's Crafted World demo on the Switch. Nice. Even 100% at the first level. Found all the coins, hidden coins, and all that. You got all
the stars, so you can do it.
I can do it. I just don't want to. It's a Mario game. I don't want to get all the damn stars. Yoshi's Crafted World. Again, I loved Yoshi's Woolly World. I beat it on the Wii U. I beat the version on the 3DS. The Crafted World, just there are different layers because like in the background is the other part of the level. So you beat this side of the world, and then you can walk up and you can go into the background and beat the other side of the world. And I thought that was pretty cool. I like that. I love the little Yoshi games. So
I actually forgot to mention that I went to a Bonafide arcade last Sunday, and they had the Halo arcade game.
Oh, really? Did you play it? And we said we were going to go to Dave & Buster's, and we never did.
Yeah. Well, I actually went up there with a friend of the show, Joe Shagan, and his girlfriend Dana came with, and we went through all 6 missions. It is super fun. It's a rail shooter game, right? So you get your gun, and they kind of take you through the level and whatnot. And it's funny because it happens during the events of Halo 1. So you actually get to see like Master Chief running around at some point in time, and you like kind of go through some of the same events that happened during Halo 1. But that's fun as hell. It's fun as hell.
All right, so why don't we take a break? And when we come back, I guess we'll get into the top 10 gaming news of the last 2 weeks. And we're back. All right. Let's get into the top 10 gaming news of the last 2 weeks. Let's start off with something that's been a phenomenon in the last 2 weeks, actually, and that is Apex Legends.
Oh, my God.
All right.
A game that came out of nowhere.
This came out of nowhere. We were going to talk about it last week on last week's show. Mm-hmm. This was by Respawn, right?
Yep.
This was a surprise game, a stealth launch.
Mm-hmm. Respawn, the guys that made Titanfall 1 and 2.
Yes.
Right. They were going to make a Titanfall mobile game that got canceled. And then Apex Legends comes out of the blue.
Battle Royale.
Yeah.
But this is not a Titanfall type game. There are no Titans. There's no wall running, I should say. A battle royale game that I'm probably not going to play. I played literally one match in PUBG and maybe 2 matches in Fortnite.
You're not a fan of multiplayer games.
Not a fan of multiplayer games. But it's okay. It's okay. You know why it's okay? Because even though I'm not going to play, they hit a player base of 25 million players.
Yeah. This game isn't even a month old yet. And they have 25 million players total, or accounts that have signed up to play this game. That's insane. They don't need me. They don't need me. Right. It's like it's killing everything right now. I'm sure it's hurting Fortnite numbers. It's definitely hurting Overwatch numbers. Definitely hurting PUBG numbers. That's insane. I hope they have microtransactions in there. I hope they're monetizing this free game.
You know they do. They got microtransactions.
Right. I mean, look. I'm not saying I'm pro microtransactions, but I just want Respawn to make some money off this. You
want them to make money because you want them to make Titanfall 3.
Of course.
And currently they're not working on Titanfall 3 apparently.
Mm-hmm.
The lead producer, Drew McCoy, actually stated, "The world thinks we're making Titanfall 3, but we're not. We're making this."
Well, it's it's made. I mean, they obviously have to support it now and kind of fix the bugs and patch the game and make it more performant and eventually add some new maps and this and that. But by all means, they could be working on Titanfall 3 behind the scenes. They may just not be able to say it yet,
I 100% think they're working on Titanfall 3. I mean, again, I beat the campaign a few months ago. I beat a lot of things a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I usually beat I beat all the games I usually, start and just don't go back to around the holiday season when I have time to do it. I thought Titanfall 2 story campaign was a little short. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I thought it was a little short.
Really? Mister, I don't have time to play video games. Just, you should be happy that it's not overly long.
I'm not complaining. I'm just surprised nobody else complained that it was a little short. It was a little short.
I thought it was I thought it was a very good length, because
it was the same length as the Order 1886. Come on.
Oh, no way.
It was the same length.
Get out of here.
Yes, it was.
You could beat the Order 1886 on your lunch break and still have time to do other stuff and get back to work on time.
Stop it.
Get out of here.
Get out of here! You get out of here! It's the same length as Order 1886.
I mean, it may have been a little bit short, but I wasn't clamoring for more story. I guess when I'm done, or when I got finished, is what I'm saying. But okay.
I didn't think the story was that compelling. I liked it.
That's
it was
fair.
okay.
That's fair.
It was okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like the dynamic of being in the Titan and outside of the Titan.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Because there was some places that Titan couldn't go, and there was platforming that you had to do inside the Titan that I thought was cool.
Yeah.
I like the dynamic between that. I liked what they did with that as sort of their first try of doing a story for this franchise.
Right, because the first one had no story; it was just all multiplayer.
The first Titanfall was Apex Legends with mechs, right?
Yeah. you mean Apex Legends is Titanfall minus the mechs?
Yes, there we go. So I hope they are secretly working on a Titanfall 3. They're just not going to tell us because it's going to come out on next gen.
Right.
All right. Let's get into. We talked about the Direct, but no one's talking about the Xbox. Mm-hmm. Xbox had Inside Xbox, the first Inside Xbox in 2019. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, we didn't get anything too juicy. They didn't announce a new Halo game or anything like that. But there was some good stuff out of this. They rebranded. Microsoft Studios is now rebranded to be Xbox Game Studios, which makes sense. right? So their whole umbrella, their whole development arm, all their studios is now just going to be known as Xbox Game Studios instead of Microsoft Studios. It's just again, though, they're branding it. They're doing the Xbox branding separate from Microsoft.
Mm-hmm. Well, what about all the crossplay stuff though, right? I mean, I know they were trying to make a concerted effort to say like, hey, you can play your Xbox One game on your PC and do that kind of like link up and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like calling it the Xbox Game Studio is good for Xbox, but bad for the crossplay functionality.
I don't see the bad. I don't see the bad in that. I mean, it's just
you're specifically saying Xbox instead of Windows, or not using Microsoft, where that's like the kind of the parent company to Windows and Xbox. But maybe not. Maybe it's not as bad as I think. I don't know.
I think it's good that they want to be on brand, right? Like they want to stay branded as Xbox. This is all Xbox related things because Xbox is the gaming division of Microsoft, right? I mean, it's just like Google, where Google's not really known as Google. Like their parent company now is, the main company is ABC.
Now it is Alphabet is the parent.
Alphabet,
and Google, is like kind of an offshoot from that.
Yeah, so that sort of just makes sense, right? I can understand why they would do it. It's a small move, it's a subtle move, but it's a major move in the long term. They want to keep on brand Xbox. They also announced Anthem. They have, like Anthem has, where Destiny sort of people thought it was a Sony product, right? A Sony IP, because all the marketing was with Sony, right? All the DLC came out first on Sony, or exclusive DLC came out on Sony. Yep. Anthem sort of has that with Xbox, right? Because I've seen a lot of Anthem marketing promotion with Xbox.
Sure.
And now they have a bundle, an Anthem Xbox One S bundle coming next week.
Yeah, I mean, I had to kind of stop and think for a second. Like, is Anthem also coming to PlayStation?
It is.
And it is. It's definitely like a cross-platform game. But yeah.
We should buy it on PlayStation, because we're already going to play it together on PlayStation, because we're going to buy The Division 2 on Xbox and play it together.
We are going to buy The Division on Xbox. I may have some more people who want to play Anthem, and they would be Xbox guys.
Okay, then we should buy The Division 2 on PlayStation. We should split it. We should split it. No, come on.
We'll have to talk offline about that. We'll talk.
We
got
to split it. Come on. We got to split it.
We'll talk offline.
Split it. All right. So the bundle is, I don't understand. I only bring up the bundle because I just don't understand why they bundle it with Xbox One X, right? Just go for it.
Right. Yeah. Anthem's going to have like super crazy good visuals, like it's going to be beautiful. Like you want the extra horsepower.
Yeah. I don't understand why they do the Xbox One S. I mean, I guess it'd be a little bit cheaper, $100 cheaper.
I mean, price wise, sure. You get it down a little bit, but yeah, I don't know.
It sort of made sense to me. Then they talked about, they didn't announce a new Halo game, which would have been awesome, by the way. But they announced Halo Outpost Discovery Tour.
Well,
hey, you ever wanted to be a Spartan? You ever wanted to go to a Spartan outpost? Now you can.
Mm-hmm. So what is this whole like experience thing about? Is it just kind of like they're gonna have like kind of a rolling tour across the U.S. and it'll just be all Halo branded, and you can kind of like take pictures with Spartans, and I don't know exactly what it's meant to be.
It's meant to be a Halo sort of universe, right? Like this is you're in the Halo universe. You're gonna see what Spartans see in in the Outpost. All right.
Oh, I see.
It's a Halo themed arena, right? Area where you're gonna see the Warthog and all that stuff.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
It's coming to Orlando in July, Philadelphia also in July, Chicago in August, Houston in August, and Anaheim August, ending in September.
Wow,
so it's not coming to New York.
No New York.
If we want to see it, we're gonna have to go to Philadelphia.
Yeah,
That's the closest.
thankfully it's not too far away. I mean, we definitely could make that journey.
Listen, I got to be honest. This is not. I think that's more geared towards kids. Like if I had a kid or a son or a daughter, I think I would want to bring them to like a Halo Outpost discovery tour, so they can get to see the Warthog and the Spartan armor in person. Right, that's
The
something
Mark
fun
4
you
the
can
Mark
do with your
7
kids.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not really. I don't really care about this. I mean, this would be cool if they told me they had the new the game that you played at the arcade. If they had like an arcade style in there as well, and maybe they do. I don't know. I haven't read up on it. They didn't say anything. That doesn't mean they're not going to have that.
If they did one of these for Uncharted, you would be there in a heartbeat.
You're damn right I would.
Yeah. See, there you go. There you go. So you're not as crazy about Halo as I am, which is understandable. You know, I would be inclined to make the pilgrimage.
Oh, really? Really?
I think so, yeah.
You really would go to Philly or Orlando to go see this?
I wouldn't go to Orlando. I'd possibly go to Philly. It's not that far away, you know. But we'll see. We'll see.
And then also they listen, they couldn't be Inside Xbox without them announcing games for Games Pass, right? Mm-hmm. They have Shadow of the Tomb Raider coming out February 7th. The Walking Dead, the complete first season, the best season of The Walking Dead so far. I know you're
happy about that, Dan.
I haven't played Final. I am happy. That's coming out on the 7th as well. Mm-hmm. Pumped BMX Pro is coming out on the 7th. The Blob coming out February 14th, and of course, Crackdown 3 coming out February 15th.
Which is technically out now.
Which is it's out now, but
yep.
You can if you don't want to buy the game, if you're a little if you get Games Pass, you can play it. You can play over 100 games on Games Pass. A little promotion for them. Mm-hmm. And Batman: Return of Arkham coming out February 21st. So all these games are out except for Batman: Arkham Return to Arkham that comes out later this week.
To Arkham is it a brand new game?
No. Return to Arkham was the two Batmans in a row, the first two Batmans.
Oh, it was a combo. I got you. So it's Arkham Asylum and then the other one.
Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. Yes.
Yep. Okay, cool.
All right. Let's get into our Elite Store. Let's just jump into it. If I can steal a phrase from a popular YouTuber. Yeah. Let's get into the Nintendo Direct. Now, this was rumored for a while, and we were actually going to talk about the rumor when it became real. When
reality, I was like, "Whoa, gotta pump the brakes! Gotta pump the brakes! We gotta watch this Direct and dissect it."
Yeah, we were recording a little bit late, and then we said, "Oh wait, this is actually happening tomorrow. Mm-hmm. we should wait on doing the show so we can have a mega show with the Nintendo Direct." And boy, did they show some things. So they started the Direct off with a bang. Something that people have been asking for. Well, people have been asking for a port of this game, but just like Splatoon, they didn't give us a port. They gave us a sequel, and that's Super Mario Maker 2.
That's right. Oh, such a good move on Nintendo's part. I definitely knew this was coming. It was just a matter of when, and here you go. They've been working on this for a little while. It looks amazing. It looks like they reworked the whole entire interface to work better with the Switch, which is a good idea, right? Because not everybody's going to want to be tapping on the damn screen. Not everybody's going to be using the screen.
They have like the scroll roll, right? As for
they have the little like a wheel interface, right?
Yeah,
so you can just kind of like push the stick, and it'll bring up a bunch of like things in a radio menu. Like it's very smart. It's very smart on Nintendo.
It looks you get slopes. Everybody wants slopes, right? You can get slopes in the original game.
Yeah, and I think they said they also you get Super Mario Land levels, right? So you can make levels based on the original Game Boy Super Mario Adventure.
Well, you get Super Mario World theme too, right? Because you get the cat suit from Super Mario World. You know, I talked about it earlier. Me hating getting the stars, but you get the Super Mario World theme on that. You get the cat suit, so you can climb walls. That's awesome. You have a jungle and desert theme, something you don't have in the original Mario Maker game. What else? You get the clear pipe that you get from the Super Mario World games. So you can see yourself going through the pipe, and you get different color pipes as well. Something also you couldn't get in the other game. They were all green.
Yeah, it's just bigger and better. You know, it's gonna be great when it comes out.
And you get the evil sun from Super. You get the evil sun from Super Mario World 3.
That was in that one damn desert level. Oh,
I know.
F that sun. All right, F that sun.
Well, you couldn't get a desert level without getting the evil sun.
It's true. It's gonna show up in everyone's damn user-made levels, though. I'll tell you that. It's gonna be the worst.
You get the rising and lower of water, right? That was something we didn't get. It was either you get a water theme or not a water theme. Now you can the water rise and go down. And lastly, well, I'm sure there's a bunch of things if you do a rewind on it, you could see, you know, all the new things that aren't on the first one. Something that I'm excited about is you get the giant bullet bill, and you get the bullet bill that's coming from the background like you have in Super Mario World. That's 3D World. 3D World. He's coming from the background. So
yeah. I mean, it all looks super cool.
So I'm excited for that. I will say this: I don't know about using your finger. I still don't know about even though they have the wheel menu. I still don't know about, like, you know, some things where you can drag and drop. Will they bundle a stylus with the game, do you think?
Probably not. You can use your finger if you want to, I think, but I think the idea is to use the radio menus, I would say.
I would say they bundle a stylus just for people who want it. You don't have to use it.
Maybe.
This is still, you know, I mean, this is a game that you're making, really, essentially, right? It's a game where you're making a game, not necessarily playing a game.
Right.
So, and we got another look at Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order, right?
The exclusive for the Switch.
Exclusive for the Switch. You can play local co-op up to 4 different Switches.
That's awesome.
That's coming out in the summer of 2019. Something that people were a little about, but I was excited, and that's Box Boy gets a sequel. It's Box Boy plus Box Girl. So it's a 2-player game with 270 stages to beat. I like the first Box Boy game. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I love my little, you know, I love the, you know, trying to figure out. Well, first of all, I didn't beat it. Again, the puzzles got a little bit too tough where I rage quit at one point and just never went back to it. Just like
couldn't hang.
And it's another game that's coming to the Switch. I couldn't hang with, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's get into Smash Bros. We've both been playing Smash Brothers, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, version 3.0. It's coming out soon. And
big update. It's the first DLC character to come out, so we get a Joker from the Persona series.
Well, that's coming before the end of April, though.
Yep.
But we don't know exactly what the update's going to bring. They said more to come later.
Sure. I mean, we definitely know Joker, and he's going to get his new stage, probably some new power-ups and some new music, right? That comes with the DLC, you know. But there's probably going to be other stuff, right? Because they're doing a version update too. It's not just the DLC pack. So yeah, I'd be, you know, we're definitely very curious to see what Nintendo has up their sleeve. So
also, we get Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Like we get
your favorite
special episodes, right? Well, they call it special episodes, and you have co-op play, right? So they have paid DLC. It's like $5. And they have like a bundle too, where you could buy the original game with the DLC. It was like $45 because the game is a discounted game anyway. It's like $40.
Yeah,
I bought the extra levels as soon as this launched. As soon as I saw it, I bought it. I paid $5. I love Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I loved it on the Wii U. I've been playing it on the 3DS. Now that I bought the DLC, I have to play it on the Switch. We get an update. Well, we got more gameplay and an update on Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, right? That's coming out in the summer of 2019.
Yeah.
talking about Castlevania Symphony of the Night, right? This sort of spiritual successor to that.
Well, it's the guy who made, it's Koji Garashi who made Symphony of the Night. Ended up breaking off from Konami, and he's doing this new Castlevania-like game. So yeah, should be good.
Okay, and then we got something I knew as soon as I saw you would be excited for, and I'm excited for the first part, Dragon Quest Builders 2. Yeah, I'm excited for that because I've been playing Dragon Quest Builders 1 on a PS4. That's coming out. Well, 2 is coming out July 12th. Mm-hmm. You can play in first person. That was the big thing I got from that. Yeah. Which is cool. I think I would try that. I'm not a big Dragon Quest fan other than the builders, because it's, again, to me,
the building game is more like action simulation. You build a town, defend a town, and whatnot. The RPG stuff is a little bit different. Kind of long, story-driven gameplay, right? 50, 60 hours a game. I have it for PS4, and we all know I've been playing it, so it's good to see it coming to the Switch too. Now you can kind of play on the go. The visuals, I think, will fit like right in. So I don't think it's going to be much different than the PS4 version, which is definitely a good thing.
And then you have Dragon Quest 11. That's coming out. The definitive edition is coming
out. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. DQ11. Yeah.
Yeah, that's coming out in the fall of 2019 for the Switch only.
Which I'm assuming, I think the definitive edition. I think I said it's just like all the extra stuff that comes with the game and whatnot.
Yes,
you get all that in one giant package, which always a good thing.
So then they announced Starlink Battle Palace. It's coming with more DLC. Mm-hmm. You could play as other Star Fox characters.
Oh, hey. It's becoming more and more a Star Fox game, isn't it?
It's a Star Fox game. And they have starship races and faction missions, and that's all coming out in April this year. Again, I have Starlink Battle Atlas. I have the starter pack for the Switch, Xbox One, and PS4.
Yeah, you do.
The PS4 and Xbox One, they're still sealed. They still sealed.
Well, of course, you only need to have one of those open.
I'm sure they're bringing more DLC because people are only playing it on the Switch.
Oh, of course, everyone wants their Star Fox.
This is the Star Fox game we never got for the Wii U.
That's right.
And it's becoming that more and more now. Yeah. They might as well just let them make the next Star Fox game.
One can only hope.
Then we got Fire Emblem 3 Houses. That was supposed to come out in the spring. It's been delayed until July. You don't have to wait too long. It's a summer game. Mm-hmm. So I know you were excited about that. I'm not a big Fire
Emblem's good stuff. It's tactical, right? It's turn-based tactical strategy. You build your army up, you bring X amount of characters into battle. You kind of rock, paper, scissors, the appropriate characters against the appropriate enemies, right? And you kind of, you do that, and then you just kind of rinse, repeat till the end of the game. I played a couple of them. I played some of the 3DS ones and whatnot. So I am a new fan of the Fire Emblem series. But yeah, this is in the same vein as the other games. So happy that it's coming out, I guess. And I can wait. I can wait till summer. It's fine. I'm an adult. I can wait.
So when we went through sort of the show rundown, I was surprised at your reaction to this next game. So I'm just going to let you take it away because I was totally shocked at your response.
Oh my God. I don't even want to talk about this game. It's such trash. I'm sorry.
Oh, ooh.
You own the game, right? Obviously.
I own the special edition.
I think you even own the game that it's based off of, that it was inspired by, or that was the original, and this would technically be the spiritual successor. This Deltarune, right? Which is technically it's tied into Undertale, right?
I have a special edition for the Vita.
Sure. It's like kind of in that same universe. The game has many flaws, and its fan base is legit the worst. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm sorry. nobody should tell me how I should play my game or that I'm playing my game incorrectly, right?
You're playing it wrong, Dave.
No, get out of here. Get out of here. I'm sorry.
Wrong.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. All right? WWE, shut your mouth. All right? This is ridiculous, right? So, like, part of the game, or I guess Undertale, right? If I can get into it like real like quick for a second. Part of the draw or the thing about Undertale is like, hey, you guys know RPGs, right? You know the main conceit of an RPG is to like beat up enemies so you get stronger, so you end up being able to fight the final boss who's super powerful. He's like, what if we flipped all that in its head? And I'm like, well, okay, that's fine, that's interesting. But as soon as you start playing Undertale, they don't make any mention of that. It's just something you need to know going into the game that, hey, look, as soon as you start killing even just one monster, it locks you out of the quote-unquote good ending, right? So there's no context. You don't know that you necessarily have a choice, right? So you can immediately mess up the game, like right in the beginning of the game. And then there's the fan base that tells you, oh, you're playing it wrong if you start beating up monsters, right? The game doesn't explicitly tell you that you shouldn't do that, but it does kind of make you feel bad for doing that, which is kind of interesting, right? Yeah, it's just all around garbage, and this is in the same kind of style. So Deltarune is just more of the same. So.
Well, Deltarune is they're releasing Chapter 1 for free on the 28th, and then the other chapters are in development, and they won't be for free. They'll be paid DLC. Yeah,
I mean, fans of Undertale should be very happy. I'm sure they're kind of jumping up and down for this. So, there you go. You got your game, but
wow, they even the hate for Undertale. Interesting.
It's not hate. It's qualified criticism. That's what I like to call it.
All right. So hate. Okay.
I mean, sure.
Then we get a realistic racing style game, Grid Auto Sports, coming out summer 2019. Right? I don't think this is the first realistic racing game that's out for the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, we had Fast RMX and Mario Kart, and I don't know of much else, honestly. And those were all like, crazy racing games or kart racers, so, a little bit different.
Okay.
A little bit different.
Also, well, it's a shocker, sort of. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. It's coming to the Switch, and it's coming out in spring.
That's big. It's big. It's I think we could consider that a AAA title, right?
I don't know if I would call it a AAA title. I mean, it came out originally from a small team on exclusive for PS4, garnered much acclaim.
Yeah.
And then it was bought. The studio was bought by Microsoft. Now, it came out to it got physical release over the holidays, and I got the PS4 version. And I got to be honest, I think this isn't Microsoft and Nintendo playing nice. This had to be in development prior to Microsoft purchasing.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%, right? If Microsoft owns all these properties, like Microsoft wants to wholly own all these properties, like you're only going to be out on like our devices, right? So it's Xbox and PC.
Well, except for Minecraft. Minecraft's still, been updated on all platforms.
Well, sure. Yeah. Minecraft, I think, is a little.
But they also spent $2 billion for that game, so they want to
right.
They want to maximize their money.
Yeah.
We got mention of Mortal Kombat 11 coming out April 23rd.
Yeah.
A game again. I really am looking forward to, but I'm probably going to buy on PlayStation.
Oh, I'm going to get a PlayStation, Xbox. Sure. Yeah. 100%. Because the visuals are going to be a downgrade, and that's it's kind of the one reason I'd rather get it on one of those bigger systems.
Again, I mentioned earlier. I said that sort of I rage quit on is Unravel 2. Yeah. I think I made it halfway through that game, and the puzzles just got a little bit. A
little too tough for the grown man gamer.
It got a little too tough, and I sort of rage quit on that. I got to go back to that. That's coming out March 22nd. That's a great game, and I got a little tangent on that as well.
Oh, lay it down, Dad.
You can buy a Yarny doll. It's Unraveled. That's Yarny.
He's the main character. Yeah.
You can buy the Yarny doll for like $30 at Best Buy, right?
Yeah.
And what was the other game? They just announced that the DLC was like a full-blown sequel, sort of. Hollow Knight. You can buy a Hollow Knight. You can buy that. You can buy the little Hollow Knight doll at Best Buy, $30. No physical release. They're all digital games, but I'm spending $30 for a stupid figurine.
Well, you don't have to get the figurine. Nobody's forcing you to get the figurine.
They should have a physical edition to that. You know what? Make it $50 for the.
I mean, I agree. You know, if they're gonna go through the production and whatever to make these dolls and whatnot, and you know, risk the whole possibility of them sitting on the shelves, which I don't think they sold crazy a lot. You know, why not also put a physical edition? People still like physical editions. Case in point, me and you. You know, we would totally pick up the physicals.
Totally pick up the physical edition. Also, they had Assassin's Creed. Well, first of all, this was the worst kept secret, right? The Assassin's Creed 3 remastered.
Right. It's
coming out with all the DLCs coming out May 21st on the Switch.
Now, it's not specifically for the Switch, but
it's going to come out on all platforms.
Yeah. And I think
it's the first Assassin's Creed game, though, to come to this generation of Nintendo, right?
Right. Yeah, I think the reason it's coming to the Switch is that AC3 was also on the Wii or the Wii U. The Wii U. It was also
on a Wii U. It was on a Wii U.
It was also on the Wii U, which is interesting because, I mean, yeah, it's Ubisoft and all, but they don't really port a lot of their AAA, big budget, high graphic video games.
Oh, Black Flag was on. Nintendo. No, Black Flag was on Wii U too. I have it.
Black Flag was, but they skipped Unity, they skipped Syndicate, But I think. Like, if it never came out on the Wii U, they probably wouldn't do the remaster on the Switch, I don't think.
Yeah, but the remaster looks terrible. Like,
well, I mean, there's that, too.
The graphical...
there's that, too.
It looked like... I mean, they said it's a... Well, at least maybe the Switch version didn't look too great. It was a little choppy. The frame rate was a little choppy.
It was probably a remaster of the Wii U version. I bet you. Which is why it doesn't look so good.
I bet you the remaster on the PS4 and Xbox One will look a lot better.
I agree. I think there's going to be a big difference.
But I'm still going to buy it on the Switch because I want to have an accessory.
You're gonna buy it on the Switch, play it for 2 seconds, and then put it down.
I'll play it.
That's
for 2
the Dan
hours.
Robinson way.
I'll play it for 2 hours and then put it down.
There you go. 2 hours and you put it down. It's
So let's get into your favorite series, and that's Final Fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
Final Fantasy 9 out
just
now.
Talking at the top of the show about that. Yeah, 7's coming out soon. 9 is out now.
7 is coming out March 26th.
Yeah, very soon. They're great. 10 is also coming, I believe, and I think maybe 12 at some point in the future, but they didn't have them ready to announce, I guess, just yet, but we heard about that. Ooh, that was last E3, I think. That they said they were all coming out.
Not even. Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah. So they're like all the great.
No,
games.
I don't think it was E3. I think it was like a direct.
Maybe another direct. Yeah. So they're like all the great Final Fantasy games you love are also coming to Switch, and everyone went crazy, right? The problem is Final Fantasy 9 still has a bunch of bugs in it, right? Because I think it's based off one of the ports that they put out, which had some issues with it. And they didn't necessarily fix those, so they just literally just ported the game over. So it's still good. It's a little high in price. It's $21 right now in the Nintendo store. So it had me pause for a second. I mean, I'm still going to get it because it's Final Fantasy 9, and they're not doing a physical edition. So I just have to pony up and, buy it again. So
then we got a new IP. From Platinum Games, Astro Chain. Astro Chain coming out August 30th.
Yep. It's exciting because it's Platinum Games. Right?
Platinum Games. It's still in that same art style, sort of like an anime style. It's a futuristic world where you're the police and you have you don't have a mech, but you have sort of like a robot dog that transforms into a transformer to fight the bad guy.
Sure, I think that's an accurate description.
I had no idea what I was looking at. I was like, "Is that a dog?" And it turns into a transformer bot, and you control it, and it's sort of like your player 2, right? That's controlled by a computer, and you're fighting enemies. It looks super cool, but it's Platinum Games, so I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Oh yeah,
we got no gameplay of Bayonetta 3, but they did mention that it's still in development. So they would be hard pressed to show a game from Platinum Games and not say anything about Bayonetta 3.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone's kind of like, when's it happening? When's it happening? When's it happening? Soon. They're definitely working on it.
So I want to say that Bayonetta 3 was announced maybe too early, right? Because it's either Metroid Prime 4 style where it's just in bad shape because we haven't seen anything. It's been a year. It's been a year and like two months, right? That since we heard about it. Bayonetta 3 was announced in 2017 at the Game Awards.
At the Game Awards, right? At the Game Awards.
We haven't seen anything or heard anything since then.
Yeah, I mean, it feels a little like a Metroid Prime 4 situation, Maybe they're having some trouble, Or
maybe
there's delays.
Or maybe they just, it was early in development when it was announced, right?
Yeah.
So they really just don't have anything to show.
Yeah.
But what stole the show, they ended with a bang, was The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening remake.
Oh, yeah, out of the blue, no one expected this. Nobody expected this, but then there it is, the cap off the show, and it lends to your point about the 2D Zelda. They have a 2D Zelda team. Here is the 2D Zelda, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Why not take a Zelda classic and redo it in the style of Link Between Worlds, which by all means it looks like the same engine, just with better resolution.
It looks like Oceanhorn.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit,
right?
Yeah.
Like it looks exactly like that. Mm-hmm. This was the weird Zelda game because it came out on Game Boy, and it was the Zelda game where you had Goopas and you had the Chain Chomp from Mario, from Mario, right? So this is a little weird. A little crossover Zelda. Is Zelda and Mario in the same universe?
This
is the Zelda is not in it, right? This is
Zelda's
Link.
not in it. Neither is Ganon, because you're on a new island. You're on a Colahint Island, right? Because you were traveling on your ship, and it got shipwrecked. It got hit with lightning, and then it broke and got shipwrecked, and so it's like a whole new adventure.
And there's a big egg on the mountain. Is that Bowser's egg? That's why they're Goombas and Chain Chomps.
I can tell you it's not Bowser's egg.
Okay.
But it's interesting to think. It's interesting to think about. I'm curious how the whole let's go ahead and borrow some elements from Mario Brothers kind of got into the proverbial peanut butter, I guess, right? How they got the chocolate inside the peanut butter. Because it works, but
I don't get the analogy, but okay.
Well, as in, like you don't think these two things would go together.
Peanut butter.
Yeah, you don't think these two things would go together. Yet, here's a chain chomp, or here's side-scrolling elements in your Zelda game.
Peanut butter, treats in different bakeries around the world. I think.
Well, they do now, but it wasn't a thing until someone said, "Hey, let's put the chocolate in the peanut butter."
Well, you know what? How about this? How about jelly and cream cheese? I don't think that's a good sandwich. I'm sorry. For all you people who eat that, that's weird.
Jelly and cream cheese?
Yeah. I'm sorry. For people who have the cream cheese sandwiches, that's just weird.
I'm not too crazy. I'm not too crazy about it either, but I can see why people like it.
I don't. That's a little weird.
Well, anyway, it's definitely good news. You can if you want to read a little more about it, we did a little write up on the website. So if you go to ratedgforgamers.com, you can see a little write up, and there's also the new teaser trailer video, so you can see that there too, which is some good stuff.
Well, the last episode we talked about if they had a direct, right? There was an unannounced game that they said everyone would be delighted for. Yeah. And we sort of speculated, could it be Bayonetta 3, Pikmin 4? Mm-hmm. Could it be a Metroid Prime trilogy? None of that was true.
No.
But we got two right. There was a Mario Maker. It wasn't port. It wasn't a port though. It was a sequel. And we got a 2D Zelda game.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. We did. And those were unannounced games that people were super excited for. So,
all right, let's move on. This is award season everywhere in the music, movies, and in video games, no matter what Jeff Keighley tells you, the Video Game Awards should be in January.
Of course. Do it after the year ends, so you have a definitive January 1st to December 31st timeline. Any games that get released during that period are eligible. Right?
It should be at the end of January. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So we got the DICE Awards right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's at the DICE Awards. It's again smaller in scale. Not everyone's live streaming it. But God of War cleaned up. It got Game of the Year at the DICE Awards. I got Outstanding Achievement in Game Design, Outstanding Achievement in Game Direction, Outstanding Achievement in Art Direction, Outstanding Achievement in Character, Outstanding Achievement in Original Music Composition, Outstanding Achievement in Sound Design, Outstanding Achievement in Story, and Adventure Game of the Year.
You need some air, Dan?
I need a little bit of air. I need a little bit of air.
That's crazy. That's amazing. It's not surprising because, I mean, it also swept the Game Awards too, right? It was our Game of the Year, right? It was a lot of outlets' Game of the Year, so...
I didn't sweep the Game Awards. Red Dead. Almost.
Oh, well, that's true. Red Dead definitely won a lot of awards, but they gave it to God of War for Game of the Year, which is...
Red Dead only won one award at the DICE. It was for technical achievement.
I mean, sure, they certainly should... win that award. I'm glad Red Dead isn't necessarily like unanimously across the board everybody's favorite game. It's nice to see some variety. But I mean, they do need to be acknowledged for some of their stuff. They did have amazing sound, the narration, the story. The character actors, like everything was great about that game. So I don't know.
So I just want to. I don't want to go through all the categories, and God of War won a lot of them. But just some notable standouts. Achievement in animation went to Spider-Man, so I'm glad that actually didn't get left out because Spider-Man was an amazing game, great game. Still, Dave, you have to play it. Celeste won outstanding achievement in independent game. And Jeff Keighley, you're listening, Video Game Awards, the best fighting game of last year was Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Well, it couldn't make the Game Awards because it came out after the Game Awards. Came out right after the Game Awards, right? So they couldn't.
Well, you know what? They could have if the Game Awards was right now.
I know. I feel like that's not going to happen anytime soon, though.
You know what? Super Smash Brothers better win some categories at this Game Awards.
Well, we'll see. I mean, so far it is the fighting game of the year. mainly because nothing else has come out that's been good. Jump Force,
Dead or Alive is coming out.
Dead or Alive 6. Oh boy, yeah.
Coming out next month.
Yeah,
we'll get into the next episode about the game.
There was actually some issues. They had a little side note. I was reading something about they had I believe a Twitch stream of Dead or Alive 6, right? They were having a tournament and whatnot, and it got real blue. It got real lewd very quick. And I won't go into all the details, but let's just say you can mess with the camera.
Okay.
And they basically had to shut the stream down.
Interesting.
Yeah. It got real bad. And they ended up pulling the plug, and, Twitch was like, this is not really like part of our platform. We don't really want this kind of stuff on here. And they kind of gave that statement towards it. But it was definitely a bad look.
Okay. I heard something. I didn't know exactly what it was. But now I got to look into that. All right. So PlayStation is at the DICE Awards, and then PlayStation exec Sean Layden discussed why PlayStation will not be at this year's E3. And I'm not going to go through the whole interview, the whole conversation. But just to sum it up, he essentially said that sort of E3 is outdated and they haven't changed with the times, right? Because E3, let's be honest, E3 is a trade show for retailers.
Yeah,
right?
Press and retailers, sure.
And it's for now. It's become more for press enthusiasts, and then lately they've let the public.
There's a limited number of tickets to go to fans. 15, like they can pay for a pass to go.
Right? 15,000 people last year, but now we have everyone's having their own events, right? Everyone has PlayStation Experience and stuff, and they actually have a February event for retailers. That's called Destination PlayStation.
Mhm.
So they just don't see a need to be at E3, especially if they don't really have anything to say. They don't have any major announcements, right? And it's smart because if this year they come out with Death Stranding, Days Gone is coming out before E3. They come out with another gameplay trailer of Death Stranding, another gameplay trailer of The Last of Us Part 2, and that's it. People are going to be pissed.
Yeah, they had the big four, I guess, last year, right? Or maybe even the year before, or what it was, and that was really cool. But they can't just keep showing that same stuff over and over again, right?
And they don't want to show anything else because they want to launch the PS5.
They're gearing up for the PS5. Yeah, I mean that's really my takeaway from it, right? It's like we don't want to go to E3 because we're not going to knock anybody's socks off because we're just not ready to show anything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you're right too that E3 is not really the giant that it was. There's so many
people
different
are
avenues.
leaving. People are leaving. PlayStation was the first one to just outright leave completely. Now we don't know if they're going to have a small booth, right? They're not having a press conference like they did in every year. And this is the first time since 95 where they're not having a press conference. But we don't know if they're going to have a booth with games playable, right? Xbox last year sort of left E3, at least the area, right? They had their own press conference in their own stadium on their terms.
A couple blocks away, yeah.
It's actually across the street. I think it's actually Microsoft across the street. EA was the first. They left E3 essentially and started their own press conference with their own sort of show floor,
right?
10 blocks away, a day before E3 starts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we say E3 starts when EA has their own press conference. Not to say that we love their press conference or anything,
but it kind of kicks off the whole thing.
It kind of kicks off E3 because E3 officially starts the day after that. So people are just leaving E3 because E3 has not changed with the times. And if you're a fan, you have PAX, right? PAX is the E3 for fans to go to.
100%. That was the whole reason why Penny Arcade Expo got started was. All these big, all these big game conventions aren't geared towards the fans, and they're like, let's just put a thing out there where you can just play games, right? And they did all manner of games, tabletop, indie, AAA, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But the thing of it is, it's real easy to get up and play something, right? Sans the big new, say, BioShock game or Wolfenstein game or whatever. You may have to wait a little bit for that, but most of the stuff we can just get right up there,
Listen, E3 is dying, especially as everything goes digital, right? And retailers become irrelevant. Then an event that was made for retailers will become irrelevant and disappear. All right. So, all right. Again, we said this is award season. We have DICE, right? And we have GDC is after DICE. GDC is in March. That's the Game Developers Conference. That's always hosted by kind of funny's Greg Miller. Well, at least the last 2 years. I don't know if he's hosting this year.
He's a good host, man. I mean, you gotta go with someone to host your damn award show.
And he always co-hosts with Jessica Chobot from the Nerdist News.
Yeah,
formerly of IGN as well.
Yep.
But Microsoft sort of has a panel at GDC this year that sparked all of this controversy about Microsoft going third party because the name of the panel is Xbox Live is headed to iOS, Android, and the Switch.
It's the stupidest thing to think that Microsoft or Nintendo would be going third party anytime soon, right? Just because Xbox is in the bottom three of, the big three.
Whoa, say that again.
It's going.
Say that again. I didn't hear you. You got choppy. Say that last part one more time.
You heard me, son. You heard me. Just because they are where they are in the hierarchy of the big three.
Oh, there's a big
doesn't
three.
Mean they're going anywhere.
Who's number one?
It doesn't mean they're going anywhere.
Are they number one? Are they number one?
Huh?
Are they number one in the big three?
I don't know. You would have to look that information up. I don't concern myself with those facts.
Oh, are they number two?
I don't concern myself with those facts.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure.
I don't know. I don't concern. I concern myself with the games, right? But yeah, like everyone was like putting up graphics of like, oh, Xbox like on like the little Switch thing and whatnot. I'm like, all right, calm your horses, The best thing you're gonna get out of this is some more crossplay, right? Because now you have a way to get now you have an easy way to interact with that service, right?
Well, we got. It's not going to be the games that are going to Switch. It's not Game Pass going to Switch, because when people heard this, I don't know why people on the internet thought it was going to be games. Like, it's Xbox Live, not Xbox Games Pass.
Yeah,
so
no.
You'll be able to check to see if your friends are online if they log into Xbox, right? Mm-hmm. Probably message as well.
Yeah,
You probably message with them, and you never know. Maybe there'll be some voice chat on crossplay. Native to this.
Well, I mean, it would definitely bolster the Nintendo's lacking features online, right? So it's not a bad idea, and it also technically would lure you away from one platform to another, because you're on the Switch. You see, like, 4 of your friends are playing Gears of War. You're gonna go, I'm gonna put my Switch down and play Gears of War, right? Because everyone's gonna be messaging you, where are you at? We need a fifth, and it's like, oh, it kind of makes sense,
Listen, Nintendo doesn't see Microsoft as a threat, okay? Because Microsoft doesn't have a foothold in Japan, and this is maybe their way of maybe tips, putting their foot into that space.
Oh well, right? Yeah, sure. That's interesting too. Kind of like backdoor your way in, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's good faith. Play well with Nintendo, because they're not going to play well with Sony, and Nintendo and Sony aren't going to play well with each other, because the console war is really in Japan with Nintendo and Sony for market share. Mm-hmm. All right. So, all right, let's switch gears. We talked about EA at E3, right? We've been bashing EA a lot lately, right? Over all the microtransactions and the issues with Battlefront 1 and 2, specifically 2, even though I like the story mode. I bought it later on. Okay. And we all say, listen, they had a 10-year exclusivity deal with Disney. And I think in 2022, that's when it's up, or 2023, that's when it's up. And we were hoping after that exclusivity deal is up, they can, farm out the Star Wars franchise to other studios to make good games, because we're just not getting good games with EA.
We are definitely not getting good games.
But that's us, the fans. Apparently, Disney is happy with EA games. And the reasoning is a little weird, because they're not happy with EA games because of sales, because all the games actually do sell. Let's be honest. It's not like they're selling like 100,000 copies and that's it. They're selling millions of copies. Everyone's making money. They're just not meeting expectations for what they for projections on the game. They're happy with them, because pretty much Disney's never been very good at publishing its own games. In the past.
No.
And
I don't think Disney's made. I'll be honest. Here's a hot take. I don't think Disney's made a game that's warranted anything above a 60. Right?
Wow. I dispute. I challenge it. I'm sure.
Name me a game.
Well, you know what? I'm sure if I look, which I haven't looked because you just put me on the spot, I can find a game.
I'm sorry. You need to know these things. Like think about all the games that Disney puts out. They're always tied in to one of their properties, right? It's a Cinderella game. It's a Lilo and Stitch game. It's a Cars game. It's a like whatever. They're always geared towards kids. They're not that great, They're definitely not for us, They're not geared towards us, Maybe you can make an argument for Disney Infinity, but I don't even know if that's running anymore,
Aladdin.
That wasn't Disney. That was Capcom who put that out, I believe.
That was Capcom.
I believe so. Disney definitely didn't produce that. They had another company.
They could have published it. They could have published it.
I mean, sure, they probably did. Maybe they did publish it, but I actually don't think that's true either. But yeah, Aladdin's great. All the Chippendales games and whatever else, those are all made by Capcom. Darkwing Duck made by Capcom. Tailspin, DuckTales. But anyway,
I'm sure if we look, we can find one game
I mean,
one game.
Maybe, but you can't even you can't think of one off the top of your head, right? I'm telling you that. I'm sure we could find one or two, maybe, but it's definitely not a good track record.
So, but that's the whole reason why they're happy. I hope again. They're saying this because they still got we're in 2019. They still got 4 years left.
They got 4 years to mess it up.
They got
and
4 years
they are
left.
going to. They are going to because EA is EA.
You don't want you're almost to the finish line with this exclusivity contract. So just we're happy with them, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're happy with them. Just let them finish, and then we'll see. We'll revisit how happy we are in 2022 or 2023. Yeah. Right? Let me just say this as a side note: if the old EA had the exclusivity right to Star Wars games back in like the early 2000s, right? For 10 years, let's just say from 2001 to 2011, we would have got 50 Star Wars games by now.
Probably, yeah, probably.
We would get we would have had like 2 or 3 Star Wars games a year.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to a little bit more serious. Let's switch gears to Activision now. Oh, right? Another company that Activision Blizzard that we've beat up on the show. I mean,
for good reason, for good reason.
They had record high revenue last year. Record high. They sold a ton. They made a ton of money. But because they didn't meet expectations for certain games.
Well, sure. The shareholders expected a certain dollar amount attached to each game. And
they are now doing massive layoffs.
Which is sad because, this comes on the heels of Bungie splitting ties with Activision. This comes on the heels of the disastrous Blizzard BlizzCon, where they tried to push Diablo Immortal and fans kind of had a big backlash about it, And now, revenue hasn't matched up to shareholders' expectations, right?
So look, Bloomberg says that analysts expected Activision sales to decline by 2% this year, only to 7.28 billion. Only they went down 2%.
Yeah, well, I mean, 2% is a lot when you're dealing with millions of dollars.
Yeah, well, billions. We're talking billions.
Billions of dollars, even that.
So we're going to do massive layoffs. And, we support. My heart goes out to all the people who get laid off. I hope they find something relatively quick. They are getting severance packages. I know another studio that can learn from that no longer exists. That didn't give any severance packages.
Yeah, right.
TT game.
Yeah,
but I will. A lot of people who got laid off. And, again, I'm not poo-pooing anybody's job, but it was a lot of people that weren't really on the development side, but more like the marketing side.
Right.
There were developers who were laid off, but just from the report that it wasn't all people on the development side. It was just people. A lot of office people lost their jobs as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's still bad. Still bad. I mean, I think it's going to be good for them in the long run, hopefully, the people that get laid off because they're getting away from this toxic company, right? I guess that's kind of the silver lining, right?
Well, Hawada-san, right? Rest in peace. Formerly the president of Nintendo, when Nintendo wasn't doing so well. Back in the early Wii U days, and the stock was going down. They were calling for massive layoffs, and he said no. He said, "Why would I lay people off? Me and other executives will take some pay cuts, so everyone else can keep their job. Because how do I expect the people who stay to make good games while I'm laying other people off?"
That's also true, and it looking at it logically, it's the people at the top that make the decisions, right? So they're the ones that said, "Hey, let's do X and let's not do Y."
Hey, why don't we make a Wii U and just confuse everybody on what this product is?
Sure. Nintendo put up a big fat goose egg, and they're like, "Oh, we messed up. All right, we're going to take the blame for it. We're going to take the pay cut because it was our fault, not the developers' faults, right? You know, the things are coming from down on high, and I think that's what was happening at Activision, right? But nobody wants to give up their $1 million salary, right? You know, nobody wants to like take a little bit of a cut, so they can't have 3 palatial mansions across the U.S. It's like, geez.
CEO of Activision made, I think, $28 million.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
He could give up $8 million.
Yeah, right. He was probably the one that said, "Hey, Diablo Immortal, this is a good idea."
I know. All right, let's get out of that. Let's talk about Monster Hunter Worlds. Okay, at DICE, Monster Hunter Worlds actually won Best RPG, and I think it won Best RPG at Video Game Awards too. And we debated, is this really an RPG?
I mean, it is. It is. It's an online RPG. You know, it's almost an MMO in this case. You know,
it's. Whatever you want to call it, it's the best-selling game in Capcom history. Capcom has sold more games and made more money off of this game than any other game in its illustrious history. And they did a crossover with Sony, right? Because if you bought it on Sony, you could play as Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's right. That's right.
Have Mega Man
crossover, right?
Mega Man crossover, and now they have the Witcher 3 crossover. You can play as Geralt.
Wow, that's the second. It's the second Witcher crossover. He was in Soul Calibur 6, right? He's a playable character there. Now he's going to be a playable character in Monster Hunter. You know, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, they've been working on Cyberpunk, the new Cyberpunk game, and you know, there's no talks. We haven't heard any rumblings of a Witcher 4. Right, so
no, I mean they're putting all their effort into Cyberpunk right now.
This sort of keeps him in his zeitgeist, right? He's in a fighting game now. He's hunting monsters, a Monster Hunter. It sort of makes sense.
100%.
It's a perfect crossover. All right, let's end this mega show with something that came out of left field, and I was shocked at. I was so shocked that my boss asked me about this. All right. There was a ultra rare original Super Mario inbox sold for $100,000.
Yeah. A lot of people were speculating why, because everyone's like, well, Mario Brothers is probably the most common game, right? Because it came with every Nintendo system, right? For almost the whole entire life cycle of the Nintendo, right? People didn't realize that this was a specific variant, and it had all to do with the packaging, right? It was all to do with the packaging and the grading of the box, right? The box was near perfect, and the packaging was unique, and it was apparently, I think I said it was one of a kind, right? This is the only one in existence, right?
That is in that condition. I mean, it has the differences back in the early days when Nintendo first came out with the NES in America. Right. They didn't like seal it like we see sealed games now, right? In plastic. They had the official Nintendo sticker on it in the back, and it's in pristine condition.
Yeah, which is insane.
So, $100,000. Listen. If your mom came to you and said, "Dave, we checked the attic and we found this NES." Well, are you eating your vegetables?
Yeah, I'm eating my vegetables, Mom.
Okay. And we found this Mario game that we bought you a long time ago, and it's sealed. What do you want me to do with it? And you found out you had the second version of this game.
Oh my god.
Would you keep it in your collection?
I would immediately sell it. I would get it graded, and I would sell it. I'd throw it up at an auction site. Because look, I know you're a big proponent of, look, if you're gonna buy the games, play the damn games, right? Don't just go ahead and be a shelf whore and put the games up because they look nice. Like, the games are meant to be played, right? And you're not gonna open this up, right? There's nothing special about it. It's Mario Brothers. It's the same Mario Brothers game. Right? Inside is still the same gray cart, right? Still got the same graphics on there, the same levels, the same gameplay, right? I'd take it. I'd take the money and run.
So I thought about this.
Mm-hmm.
I'd sell it in a heartbeat.
Right? Yeah.
So
No, that
I
makes
have
sense.
I have the original Super Mario Brothers game. I have the original. I have the one with the duck hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I have the one with the duck hunt and the what was the running? What was
Track
the
and
track
field?
and field?
Track and field. Yeah, yeah. Had the triple pack. Yeah.
The triple pack. I have the anniversary edition on the Wii. I have the All Stars. I have 2 All Stars for the Super Nintendo. It was the All Stars with Mario 1, 2, 3, Mario 1, 2, 3, and the original Mario 2 Lost Levels, right, for the Japanese version. And then they had the second one that had Super Mario World on it. So I have that, and you can play this game on Nintendo Online if you paid it $20 a year.
Yeah, you can play it on the Wii Shop, the Wii U Shop, 3DS.
Yeah. So I can play the game. I think games are meant to be played, not sealed. So it would drive me insane to have a sealed copy of this, knowing how much it's worth, because I would want to open it, honestly.
Yeah.
So I would just sell it and get rid of it. I don't like to find sealed games. If I do, I'm not saying I do have sealed games in the collection. Sure. And it's only because I just haven't gotten around to playing.
You haven't gotten around to it. Yeah. You're not gonna open a game before it's time, right? If you're ready to play the game, you will gladly open it. But no reason to open it early if you're not intending to play it anytime soon. So yeah. Well, there you go. It's a rare agreement. It's a rare time in Rated G history that me and Dan are really simpatico on this. But sell that and invest that money. And
but if I had Mario's missing in a box, I probably would never open it. I didn't even know they made Mario's missing for the NES. They made it for the NES too.
Yeah, they did.
NES and Super Nintendo game.
It's kind of stupid to say, but the Super Nintendo is better, if not just for the better graphics. It's still a horrible game, but it is slightly better. But yeah. I think that about does it, Dan. 100,000 Mario Brothers games and all. We are at the end of the episode 151 Mega Show. It's been a long ride. It's been over 2 hours of content, so we hope you guys enjoy all of that. And we just want to thank you guys for being all the good fans that you are and doing all the good stuff that you do. And if you want to interact with us, and we know you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. And you can email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. So please like, listen, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.